All right, all right, all right. So 16 days into 2025. Okay. And I have a rather strong position. I firmly believe that we are in a two roads diverged into a wood scenario. Okay. I'm going pure frost here. And I made the comment earlier on one of these lives, Nick, and I'm very curious to get your kick in. You and I have been in this business for a long time. Okay. For a long, long time. In the entire 10, 11, 12, 15 years, however long it's been for me, I don't think a single solitary thing has entered this industry that is going to make the impact that AI is going to make. And I don't even
Correct.
think and I don't even think it's close. And I will go
It's
back
not
as far
close.
just to show you guys how old we are. We were there when the first G Clay printer came out. Okay. That was a big deal, right? The start of
Huge deal.
Facebook, the start of Instagram, right? The ability for artists to do POD and sell directly from their websites, which, it was the gallery model or you're doing shows and theirs. There was no online anything when we started. I'm very, very confident now that I think AI will make a bigger impact for the individual solo creator than any of those other things. Period. End of sentence. And I'm seeing it clear as day. I'm curious if you're on that same train that I am and what you think.
I'm totally on the same train. I mean, I think all of those things had their role.
Mhm.
And I think every time each one of those came out, people were like, this is the one thing that they needed. This is the one thing that they needed. This is one thing that, and they meaning individual artists, you
Yeah.
guys, that are
Yeah.
watching this. And however, the thing that we have known and recognized a while back, at art storefronts, is that, and I think all of everybody listening to this can relate to this, is that the biggest thing is marketing, i.e., promotion,
Yeah.
getting your art in front of more eyeballs. It doesn't matter if you have the prints, like that's one of the
Mhm.
things that we try to tell people, because oftentimes when artists reach out to art storefronts for the first time, they're like, they need to know everything about the printing, right? Which is like, I'm happy about that, because our print on demand is amazing, and we care a lot about that. But they think they have a print on demand problem,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
don't. And it's like
Nope.
it's like, if you don't have any sales, or you don't have, like, you're not selling at least like 10 prints a month, you know, like,
Mhm.
then you don't really have a print problem. Well, you don't have one at all. You have a promotion problem. You have a marketing problem. And so the
Yeah.
fact that AI solves this marketing problem, it's not a silver bullet, but it solves the fact that you have to be doing outbound marketing all the time. Every single business does on the planet,
Yeah.
from Microsoft down to the individual creator. Otherwise, no one is going to see your product and no one's going to buy. And it's that analogy
That's it.
that you and I have given for so many years, which is like, you could be the best chef in the world and have the greatest restaurant, but if you don't get people in the door, you're going to go out of business. And it doesn't mean you're a bad artist. It doesn't mean you're a bad artist,
No.
right? Like, you could seriously be that talented, but people have to see your product, and you also have to create a product, that's marketable. And so AI, in the sense of what it can do for your marketing, and we're gonna show that, and actually getting that work done that a business needs to get done, it's actually going to get done. And that's why this is like the linchpin, like the most significant advancement out of all of those that you mentioned.
I want you to watch this clip because you and I have been saying this for a long time, right? Do you know how much better it sounds out of the mouth of a really accomplished artist? Significantly so. I don't know if you're aware of this guy, Nick Justin Bua. You
Yes.
should be aware. This was like the
Yeah.
cool, this was like the cool image to have on your dorm room when we were in college. And I think he's currently sitting at 267,000 followers on Instagram, right? So big deal. Just hear this for me, and then I want us to riff on this. Okay, just listen to this.
I don't think we're getting the audio.
You're not? I think it's
No,
just
and
you.
I turned it up on Instagram. I don't think. Did you guys get the audio? Drop a comment.
Oh, come on, man. I thought I had that turned on correctly. But were you able to hear it at least?
No.
Oh, you couldn't even hear it in your
No.
headphones either. Okay, so that's not working. We'll give that a shot. But what Justin, and thanks Mario for saying that. So what Justin Boo is saying is in that, and I can share this in the comments, but making great work is not enough.
Making great work
as a creator, okay, you have to spend as much time and creativity on the marketing as you do on the creations. And look at him. This guy's have a 20-year career, 220,000 on Instagram. He's probably over $10 million in sales if he's even close. You know, he's done so fantastically well. And there it is. So the question becomes, guys, in 2025, how are you going to have a different trajectory than you had in 2024? 2024 was a tough year for artists, right? We were in a huge economic, scenario that was anything but stable or consistent. It wasn't what years like, coming out of COVID and the COVID bounce and the bump were. And the reality is that 2025 will be exactly like your 2024 unless something fundamentally changes in the business. And when we talk about this enthusiasm for what AI is going to bring to the table for you guys, it 100% comes down to you guys 10xing your output. To you guys 10xing your output. That's it. Right? And I know people are talking about it, but not enough people are talking about it. Like, this technology is here right now. It's ready to go. We've got it in every single Saltrade person that signs up for Art Storefronts, Nick, is getting an account. So they're jacked right into the matrix, and they can start leveraging it and using it. And we'll show it off in a second. But I also kind of want to rant on this, and I don't mean Jensen again, because I've showed his videos so many times, but it's great. I should probably play it again, but I won't get the audio. But it's this notion of like, AI is here, you guys, and it is moving so fast, so quickly, right? And I just looked at these headlines today, and it's like, AI is moving fast, and if you wait for perfection, you're going to be too late. Okay, you're going to be too late. The other one, four charts that show why AI progress is unlikely to slow down. A tech warning: AI is coming fast, and it's going to be a rough ride. Harvard Gazette: AI is moving fast, and it's a good thing. Fast Company, right? And we're struggling here as a business at Art Storefronts, trying to figure out what this pertains to creatives, right? Like, creatives think it's scary. This is the greatest thing in the history of mankind for you guys, because what it's now going to unlock is exponential growth versus linear growth. Linear growth is the path that artists and photographers that don't really change anything massive in their business in 2024 are going to be on, Nick. For the ones that have the temerity to be early adopters, to start leveraging, what are essentially employees in their business, they're going to start seeing exponential growth. It's like it says on the slide, it's a slow train versus a rocket ship. Why wouldn't you want to be the rocket ship, right? Like, everybody needs to embrace it. But we can do a live demo, and you can rant. Who wants to be brave on Instagram and offer up their Instagram profile, and I will show you. We'll take you down the rabbit hole of just how quickly this whole thing works and what you can accomplish when you have an army of AI robots working on your behalf. And, it's staggering, right? It's absolutely staggering. I'm going to grab you, Mario, because you've been leaving me all kinds of positive comments. And just get your name copied. That's a long one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Mario's profile here. Okay.
See it, Mario. Santiago. He's dropped his in there too.
Okay. I might grab you next, Santiago. Okay. Interesting. We got some like anime stuff going on. That's really cool looking. So I'm going to grab that one. Mario, side note, don't put reels with TikTok on it like this. Okay. This really hurts your reach on Instagram. Instagram does not like that. So you gotta not use those. It's interesting. I think you might be leveraging AI in your art, huh? That's a beautiful image. Okay. We'll just use these as first examples, and we'll get going here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot up Art Helper. Okay. And really it's like the first step from the minute that you guys create the art and you start asking the questions. Okay, now what? Now that I've created the finished piece and I have it ready to go, what are all the things that I have to do from the minute that that artwork is created, that big, beautiful creative thing, that beautiful creation is there? Like, what's next, right? And one of the things that I love doing just to start out with right away is, and I'm going to show this here.
Well, and Pat, we should say that the very first initial thing is just the fact that you got a high resolution file more than likely, and you need to store it somewhere long term, right? And so you have that storage right here in this application, backed up, totally secure and all of that. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. So what's happened is your image is in, okay? Our AI, it's called Art Helper, has looked at the image and instantaneously it's generated some tags, okay? You can see those guys down there. Instantaneously, it's generated some room mockups, right? So what I love to do the minute I have one done, you guys, is instantaneously, the minute you get the work up, before you even stress about anything else, start visualizing the piece, you yourself, okay, on its inevitable, long-term destination. Because where's this thing need to go? It needs to go onto a wall, right? And you can see we've got these for days. It actually looks really good with red furniture. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in the color red, see what mocks I can get with red. Okay, that one looks really good, right? And another thing that I love to do, and this is like a new feature that we just released, is you can type merch in this room mockup generator. And what it will do is it will instantaneously generate some merch images from this, right? And what I think is great about this is instantaneously, and this is loading a little bit slow, so I might have to just come back to it for a second here. Hold on. I bet the image comes down before it's even created. Let's see. And instantaneously you've got images, right? And like one hack that I've been, mentioning to, my customers recently is like, let's go back to this image and let's just see if he's got any comments on the images. Because I don't believe that any one of you, not a single solitary one of you artists, sends enough Instagram direct messages. Like, it's such a great way to communicate. I'm trying to look and see, where was that image? I lost it. There it is. So let's see if you've got any comments. Okay, so you don't have any comments on this one. But there's a thing that you guys can do is, like, if somebody comments on your piece, okay, you can instantaneously open up the send message, like I'm going to do right now with Mario, and you can send them images, right? And so an amazing workflow already right out of the gates that I've been loving to use with AI is like, create the piece, post it to Instagram, okay? Go and hit all the commenters on the piece and send them a few follow-up pieces. And you can ask open-ended questions, right? And you can say, thanks for the comment. I don't know why this is taking so long to load. Let me see if I can get a refresh going here. I can't wait to show this to you guys. So let's just assume that there was a comment, right? And so I can go, hey, Mario, thanks for the comment on the piece. Can I ask you a question? Well, 2 questions. Okay. So I send that. Then, because I've downloaded those room mockups right out of the app, I'm going to grab all of these actually. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all of those. Okay. So I've sent them the cell phone. I've sent them the pillow, and might as well pull these up big screen. So you can,
so
this is what their view is in their Instagram DM box, right?
Do you know what's so interesting too is, like, right when you pull up that phone, it's like, I could imagine myself having that phone case, and I had never had that thought in my head before this session. Never had that thought in my head when I even saw the piece of art. But the fact that I was like, that is really cool. That looks really good right there. Yeah, that looks really good.
But do you see the workflow, Nick? It's like, nobody wants to send direct messages, and it's like, you guys, direct messages is like the direct path into your inbox. And so I'm to the point now where it's like, I'm going to get a couple guys on my marketing team to start doing this for people and just start processing images for them and send them in the direct box. This is the conversation you're after. I don't want someone to go to my website. I want to get into a direct conversation with somebody, right? So look, hey, Mario, thanks for the comment on the piece. Can I ask you a question? Well, 2 questions. He already said, sure. Thanks for responding, Mario. That's awesome. Which room mock-up do you like best? And I am thinking about offering merch on this piece. Good idea or no? Right? And it's like, I could have done that one, Nick, and then I could have gone back to the post and I could have ripped off 30 of those in 20 minutes.
Yeah, easily.
That alone, okay, is so profoundly powerful. And then when we start like levering it up, right, would be give it a product title, right? And so what the AI is doing now is the AI is looking at his piece and it is coming up with a product title for us, product title ideas: Mountain Sunset Serenity, Temple Reflections, Sunset Over Tranquil Waters, Serene Peak Dreams, Autumnal, that's such a hard word to say, Autumnal Harmony, right? And it's like, you know, do I like any of these? I might want to change the voice and get a different one. Let's just see what the longer ones are. A Journey Through Sunset and Serenity. Sunset and Serenity is actually the title I like. Got a nice ring to it, right? And it's like, by the way, you know, I go back to the inbox. By the way, the piece is called Sunset and Serenity, right? You know, you can do all of that so quickly, and that's such a powerful thing. What was the other gentleman? Because I want to mix it up with the art. Who was the other one?
Sergio, was it, or Santiago? Santiago Perez art.
Yeah, I got it. I'm copying it right now. I have to like slowly copy this. You have even Nick, like without going into the AI features, if we can get all of our customers doing this, by which I mean creating room mockups, creating compelling room mockups, and then sending them via Instagram direct messaging, how many more conversations are we gonna see, right? How many more conversations are gonna go on? This one could get you in trouble with the sensors, but we'll see how that one goes, and it's full screen. Okay, let me just see what else is in this one. Pompano Beach Lighthouse. Okay, this is let's go back to that. Let me get this one. I just want to see what else. Okay, great. So you photoshopped it into a wall preview. Santiago, how long did it take you to get that photoshopped into that wall preview? Or did you use a third-party app? We're curious. Let us know on that, right?
Or is that a real picture? Is it not?
No, it's his painting. It's his painting. Oh yeah, it could be the actual one in the house too. Okay, so you know, Benito Cuadro Santiago. Okay, by the way, this is one of the things that I love too. Like, you know, you could come in here, okay, and let's upload his thing, because I just love showing the use cases of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the artwork, and then we get his 2 images up, right? Boom, boom. And I'm assuming Santiago obviously speaks Spanish natively, so he probably doesn't. Yeah, so it's a third-party app called Smartest. Nick was what he used. And the thing is like, you know, it's about how quickly do you get them into a working fashion. Like, this is the thing that like makes me happier than anything else, which is like, I can do this in 2 seconds, right? And I can get some beachy vibes, right? That one's cool too. Let me get one with some plants, because I love some plants. Oh, that one looks good. I don't know why I'm a sucker for these ones with the plants, but I just am. And then let's go merch. By the way, Nick, when you see this, do you not realize how many merch options we need? Like, I want coasters. I want like, I want to be able to type coaster. I want to be able to type throw pillow. I want to be able to type t-shirt. I want to be able to type, you know. We're constantly tweaking this thing and making it better, right? What I was going to show you, Santiago, though, is that our AI actually also already right out of the gates does multiple languages. So you can tell it to rewrite your description in Spanish. Have you seen that yet, Nick? Works flawlessly. You can rewrite the description in English. You could do both of them in 2 seconds, and boom, you're cooking with gas. Okay, that's holding me up. But anyway, what I would do, and Santiago is giving me the perfect use case, is like, as we looked at this picture, right? You know, I love this piece. I'm sending this guy a message right now. Oh, his messages are closed. But if he's your friend, you would be able to send it. Some people have their messaging closed. But just contemplate this workflow with me. Like, you've got your image, you post it to social, you get comments from people, right? You get comments from people, send them messages immediately, right? And sometimes they'll like, you need to be following them, but like most people have their messaging open, right? Okay, this one's an artist, so maybe it doesn't make as much sense. But that aspect as a marketing technique, Santiago, like, fundamental game changer, right? And I just want to send you your images, because why not? Looks like you've been in our bot before. I love that. Boom, boom, boom. Off it goes. So it's like instantaneously you're going from a macro conversation to a micro conversation. At the very least, they're going to say thank you, right? And he's asking me, are those rooms static or is AI creating them? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just our app. It's not even really AI. Or maybe you could tell us, Nick, from a programmatic standpoint, how that's working.
Yeah.
Is that AI creating them?
No, it's our app.
Yeah. So it's just the app creating them. And, room mockups are a thing. The AI is really, what writes the product description for the piece, right? And what writes the title and what writes an email and what writes a blog post. But our position where this is like a completely different thing than the other AIs is like when you have all of your images in one place, right? And then you have all of these outputs that the images can go to do. Yes, room mockups you saw. Yes, product titles, product descriptions, Etsy descriptions, image critique, apply to an art there. It's like all of these things that you can do are all a button click away based on having the art right in front of you, right? And that to me is like the biggest key of this entire thing. Like if all of your images are in here, okay, at any point in time, you can search the images. You can say, okay, I've got to go make a social post with this. I've got to go make a carousel post. I've got to go send an email. I've got to send a packet to an interior decorator. And it's like, boom, come in, decide which room mockups you want to use, grab the product title, grab the product description, and you send it off. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, right? And recorded details. Yeah, I love it. I love that you're using it. It's amazing. You have a writing staff, you guys. For the first time ever, you've got a writing staff. But I'm doing all the talking, Nick. What do you got?
Well, I was wondering if you're going to go to the saved content up there because that's one of the things that I love, right? Do you see that?
Yeah. So let me save one and show them. So let's say I'm having it look at Santiago's image here, the AI, and it's going to go ahead and write us a social post. And let's say we really like the social post, right? And so boom, you save it. You can add a label if you want to. I can call this one Pompano because you said it was the Pompano, lighthouse. Save it, right? And then go on and do the other stuff that
Yeah.
I'm doing, right? And so if that's the case, I can come right back to the save content and here it is, it's ready to go and I can copy it, right? And you can see too that it's given it the tag. And so you can obviously search the tags, but this is like our initial foray into how many different features can we build for you guys in an AI. Said another way, how many free employees can we give you, right? That'll do this work on your behalf whenever you want and for whatever reason. So it is going to change everything, like the sheer output.
And one of the things that I don't know if you caught in there, because I know it's brand new with that saved content, is that when you're on the image itself, the content that you saved for that image, okay, is stored just for that image, organized, so you always have it there. Okay. So the one that you're looking at right there in the navigation is the global one where all of them are. But when you're there, look at the very, very top where it says generate. Yeah, go there.
Yep.
See?
Yep.
So you'll notice it's just for that image. So you can work. So like, as you were saying, you can work through, and a bunch of stuff for like 10 minutes and generate all this content and then get it and then go back whenever you wanted to and like go post a couple of social media posts. So for example, when you just did the social media post, you might want to just sit there for like 2 minutes and just bang out like 5 social media posts with the AI in like 2 minutes. And then the ones you like, you just save. And you're like, you might leave for 2 weeks and it's like but you've got the other ones ready to go, So like you might post one, remove it, and then post the other 4. And it's like, you've got all that stuff there. So the stuff that the stuff that you can just bang out with just sheer efficiency is just
staggering.
Like if whatever your headspace is, you might be the type of person that you just created a new piece of art and you're totally inspired by it. And your head is like deeply in it, almost like a songwriter who just wrote a song or an author who just wrote a book. And you might want to like upload that thing into Art Helper and just bang out a bunch of different stuff about it because you're in that headspace. You can get that done in like minutes and it's safe. And you might have content to post about it for the next couple of years that you might just sprinkle out every once in a while. And that's just such an amazing thing because like we were talking about at the beginning, what's the number one problem of every artist? It's marketing. It's getting your product out there and doing the actual outbound work that gives you an actual chance for somebody to see your product, which is the only way that anything is going to happen. The number of eyeballs that see your product, you know, and the quality of those eyeballs, whether they care about your subject matter or not, is going to be the number one determining factor of whether your business is successful or not. And sometimes it's like some people can really, really hone in on that statement. But I know that you would say, and I would say, is like, you just got to get it out there. Just get it out there.
You just got to ship it. Yeah.
You just got to ship it. And, you know, meaning like when we're saying that, it's just like, just get it out there and post stuff and like, don't over analyze it. Just get it out there and promote it. And eventually you will find pieces that resonate.
Yeah. And by the way, anyone that's watching this, you can send me a DM and I'll have somebody on my team process an image for you. I'll have somebody on my team process an image for you. Okay. Not just process an image for you and then send you back. And I'll go into this Spark so I can show some. I'll have them send you back a product title, a product description, a social post, a blog post, a new piece email, all done. I'll DM. I'll have somebody on my team DM it to you. So all you have to do is just send us an image if you want me to do that. Just go right into Instagram, hit Art Storefront's profile, send message, send me an image in there, and I'll do it. And Mario was saying that he just did it. You know, Santiago asked a good question. He's like, you know, I reset my question. Can it slice the content into different versions to the different target platforms? Not explicitly yet, in the sense that we haven't gotten it to the point where we're saying go and post it to Instagram, go and post it to TikTok, go and post it to Blue Sky, Facebook, YouTube, whatever the case may be. But we're doing something that's like really, really interesting on this particular product, and I'm kind of blown away by how it's been so far. But if you look inside the app down at the bottom, there's this feedback button. Okay, let's just say I click that. If I click that, you go into this feedback section that we have, okay? And this has been like a really, really interesting thing, because what happens is that our users are posting things in here, like sort Sparks by the ones I use the most. Then folks can upvote things, right? You know, if they're so inclined. And then if you click into them, anyone can leave a comment on them, right? And so what's been happening, like that one was from Joseph, which is hilarious. I mean, mock-up improvements. I mean, Nick, this one's got 57. This one's got 57 different upvotes, and you can see all of these people commenting. I would love to see this. I would love to see this. I would love to see this. So we're super excited to be releasing things that you guys actually tell us are going to save you a tremendous amount of time. And then we've got this really cool section, which is, you know, planned, in progress, and complete, right? And you can see in the complete, like, you know, add merch to room mockups, right? Like that was done in the last week because it got 20 upvotes and everyone was like, do this, right? So we're building this thing out, Santiago, how you guys are telling us like what the most important things that it could possibly have and that you guys need. And again, it's this notion of how quickly AI is moving, which is just absolutely staggering, right? Absolutely staggering. So that's what I would say on that. But definitely send me an image. I'm happy to get any of them processed. And then what is your, thank you, Santiago, because, you know, like what do companies normally do? They just build things because they know better, right? And then you hope people will use it. We're taking a new just build in public approach with this thing, which is like, how can we save you guys time? How can we save you guys a ton of time? Like, what are the biggest things that you struggle with? Now, we know some of them because we've been working with you guys for 10 years. Marketing consistently, doing the marketing work.
Yep.
Writer's block, the blank canvas problem, consistency. So we built it with all of those things in mind. But, you know, what is your bigger picture vision, Nick, for how AI is going to work in a website context, right? Like how seamless that integration is going to be and what it's going to look like.
It's going to be totally, I mean, the bottom line is in the not too distant future, the AI is going to be your assistant. Right? Like you're seeing it when you're looking at Patrick give that demo of Art Helper and we're clicking buttons and all that, and AI is doing work for you. You have to go to its, you know, furthest conclusion, which is no different than like people are going to have robots in their house that are like, you know, hey, wash my dishes, do my gardening, you know, stuff like that. And it's doing things specifically that you want done. Right? It's like the way that you want them done for your house and all that. So no different. You're going to have the same thing for your business. It'll be digital, not physical. Right. But like this thing will be updating your website, So like the syncing between the two will be seamless. Like it'll update your website, it'll update your Etsy profile, wherever any channels you're selling and stuff like that. And doing as many things as possible, so like ultimately you should be able to train it really well, to where it can just post these social media posts for you without you having to go in there and say, hey, I want you to do that. You should be able to train, like, hey, anytime I add an image in here and get in other words, hey, assistant, when I give you this file, there's a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to want you to do. Think of it like workflows. There's a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to want you to do. I'm going to want you to announce it, which means I'm going to want you to do a social media post and an email. I'm going to want you to do a blog post. I want you to get that on my website, right? I'm going to want you to, price it, do all this different, stuff, because I'm going to want to offer print on demand for the different items. It's going to be handling the vast majority of things that are programmable, like anything that is like all that admin work, all that extra work, like it's going to do all that stuff, but it's going to be in your voice, in the way you want to do it. So it's just an extension of you, no different than if you trained an assistant, no different. They're just going to be better than an assistant. It's going to be like 5 to 10 team players, in one assistant that's actually, constantly training, learning how to do things better, for the specific way that you want to do things.
Yeah. And what it comes down to, again, and I constantly go back to this analogy, is that you are finally going to have a team. You're going to have employees.
You're going to have a team.
Like I've talked to 100,000 artists. Out of the 100,000 artists that I've talked to, 0.1% even have a single solitary employee, right? They have like a social media intern, or they have someone that helps with like their shipping, or, they have somebody part-time here or there. I don't know anyone that has a team of 6. Gray Malin, maybe. Wyland, maybe. A handful of those guys that are huge, that have like an entire team that are helping them out with every single solitary thing. You guys, AI is now available to everyone.
Yeah.
And it is almost as good as having a team. You have to train either one, and like they're almost ready to go. And I should
this is exactly why we've taken it so seriously, right?
Yeah, massively so.
Exactly why we've taken it so seriously. And by the way, everyone who signs up for Art Storefronts this week, so today, tomorrow, I think is the last day, you're getting this, okay? Included with your website, with your membership at Art Storefronts, you're getting Art Helper AI, okay? So everything that Patrick is showing right here, you're going to be able to use, and you're going to have that team behind you. And I think that, Pat, that's so big. It's like we're at the start of the new year. It's only January 16th. We're like the second week of the new year, right? This is the time to actually make that change in your business, or to start your business, and get things going and get set up in the right way, so that you're able to take advantage of where the world is going. That famous statement, it's like, you want to skate to where the puck is going, not where it was. Like this is there is nothing more important than that right now. You don't want to be going into the Stone Ages when the world is totally changing, and the way that selling art has changed. You want to be going and equipping yourself where the world is headed. And trust, we look at our business the exact same way. Like we are not stuck on the past. We are going, no. The world is changing. We're changing with it. We're making sure all of our artists are like as equipped as possible to be ahead of everybody else.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not going to stop playing this, because it is a huge win for Nick and I on this. If you've loosely heard of AI, or you've dipped a toe in the water, or maybe you tried ChatGPT and you typed in something, or someone told you about Claude, or you tried Grok on X, whatever the case may be, or maybe you tried one of the image generators. It doesn't matter which one you tried. This is just the truth. And if we can have a bunch of you guys leave these broadcasts and be like, okay, if these guys are talking about it this passionately, it might be something that I need to try, because this is literally what's going to happen.
If you're not engaging AI actively and aggressively, you're doing it wrong. You're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to somebody who uses AI. Your company is not going to go out of business because of AI. Your company is going to go out of business because another company used AI. There's no question about that. And so you have to engage AI as quickly as possible.
Think about that video and the way that he phrases it. It's like, for you guys, it's not like you're going to lose your job. You're an artist, okay? You're creating artwork. You're not definitely employed in that capacity. So fine, that's all good. But that's not it. It's like your business could be up here with AI, and if you don't use it, your business is going to stay down here because you only have 24 hours in a day, same as all the rest of us. And that's a fundamental thing. So anyone that signs up for Art Storefronts will get all the bells and whistles Art Helper AI with all the features that we have in here. And boy, we have so many planned, and we're adding so many at such an alarming rate. Like, you can have this thing write new pieces and have it write an artist statement, Facebook group finder and Reddit group finder. It can do Etsy listings for those that are selling. And this is like our beta version. It can help you price your art. It can help you apply to art shows. It can help you with Facebook ads, marketing plans, FAQ generator for your website, SEO keywords, art analysis, Reels ideas. And we have so many ideas on the feature list that people are dying to have us to create. It's just amazing. But for me, all of the images that you've created in one window, and then 100% of the ability to go and take those out anywhere and everywhere. Absolutely staggering. It's just absolutely staggering. So any closing remarks, Nick?
No.
Eloquent in its brevity. All right, guys. Well, thanks for checking out the broadcast. I hope you feel our passion. I hope you guys get switched on to the fact that AI is going to change everything. And for you creators, it is only a good thing. It is literally only a good thing.
This is if you were looking for the change you needed to make for 2025, this was it, right? Get the team behind you by leveraging AI, whether it's with us or any other way that you figure out how to do it, but like get that team behind you and get your art out there, leverage these tools. This is the big game changer. And, if you're listening to it, like you're going to be ahead by doing that.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on a future broadcast. Oh, and by the way, you can go, Nick. I'm going to just finish this up.
Okay.
Number one, anyone that wants an image process, just send me a DM. I'll have I'll have somebody on my team process it and send you back the results like I was showing. That's number one. Number two, I'm thinking about running webinars, an additional webinar that I run already. If I ran a webinar just on how to use this tool, maybe having it in Zoom, maybe doing that once a week, would you guys attend that? Would that be something you'd be interested in doing? Like, putting somebody into being in a webinar, looking at the software, going through everything, and doing that. I think it would be super, super interesting. So that's what I've got. And yes, manual, it's included. The manual is asking if it's included for Art Storefronts customers. Yeah, if you're an existing Art Storefronts customer, there's a version that you can use right out of the gates, and you can log right in with your Art Storefronts login. What we are doing, okay, thank you for that, you guys on the webinar. What we are, the rub manual is like, these things are 100% compute-based AIs, right? So we can give you the car, but we're not paying for all the gas for everybody is essentially the takeaway. But you can get in, start poking around, and of course, Art Storefronts customers get preferential treatment with it. That'll always be the case. So thanks, guys. I'll see you in an upcoming future broadcast, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, guys.